I am Marnie, and from here on out, I am going to be your very own personal wing girl, and every week, I will give you insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any girl you like. All right, you need to be careful about the women that you date, because if you end up with the wrong one, your life will be miserable. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you a few ways to tell if a woman is not the right one for you, not worth dating, and more specifically, I'm going to tell you how to spot a toxic woman. So if you notice any of these coming out of the mouth of the woman you are seeing, consider it a warning sign and walk away before it is way too late. Most guys often miss these subtle signs and major red flags, and they end up stuck in a toxic relationship, which always causes a lot of suffering. Next, number 3, expecting you to be a mind reader. Listen, on some level, we all expect other humans to be mind readers, but this is like the next level that I'm talking about. If a woman expects you to read her mind and automatically know what she needs or wants all the time without ever communicating with you about her actual needs and wants, she's not only being unreasonable, but showing that she's not an effective communicator, and that is a big red flag. Number 4, bad mouthing other people. So if you find her constantly saying bad things about other people in her life, maybe her friends, her family members, or even her exes, pay close attention to that one, and you see that she goes to great lengths to point out the worst things about them and bash them verbally and do it often, it's a huge red flag. Okay? It's a huge sign that there's something not so good going on. Look, she might have genuinely bad friends and family members who haven't been nice to her and a very toxic ex, but if she's always talking negatively about them and you see that she goes out of her way to bring them into the conversation so she can verbally bash them, it's just not right. What does this say about her as a person? What does this say about what she's going to say about you later on? Do you really want to have such a negative person in your life who's constantly bad-mouthing other people? Number 5, interrupting or talking over you. So if you find her interrupting you frequently, cutting you off mid-sentence, and taking over or constantly trying to one-up you, you need to be on alert. This typically means that the girl has major ego problems. And yes, you might interrupt people if you're very excited to say something, or sometimes you don't know what to do. You might even accidentally one-up the other person because of those reasons. But if she does it frequently, it's a massive sign of a massive ego, and it means that she wants to be in control, or that she needs to prove that she's better than others, or that she knows or thinks she knows more than others. That's not the type of woman you want to be with. These types of women will turn everything into a competition, a game of who's better, and she's also likely to put her ego above the relationship, meaning she's likely to do things that will satisfy her own needs and overlook what's best for the relationship. Number 6, giving ultimatums. If she tells you things along the lines of, if you want X, you need to do Y, and if you don't do what she wants, she's not gonna be with you. That's very toxic. But you'd be surprised how many guys actually go along with this and stay in relationships like this. They keep giving the girl what she wants, and they don't realize how much they're being taken advantage of. I hear these guys every day, and it tears my heart out. It's unfortunate, and it happens way too often. Now, in a relationship, people are allowed to and should set boundaries, 100%. And you can and should tell your partner what is unacceptable to you in a relationship. In a relationship, you are supposed to let your needs and wants and emotions known to your partner. 100%, that's communication. But that's all that you can really do. You can't tell your partner to act in a certain way. They decide what they will and they don't do. And that's how you decide if you're right for each other. You can't really demand things from people, right? For example, let's say that you have a female friend that you are pretty close with, and let's say your girlfriend gets jealous about that. Now, she can tell you that, listen, I understand that she's your friend, but it still makes me a little uncomfortable that you have such a close female friend. What she can't do is demand that you cut her off, or else she's leaving you. You can't and shouldn't try to control them.
Is it true that whoever needs the other person the least has more power in the relationship?
The less that you need her, the more that she will want you. You want to know how to make women attracted to you? Nothing complex, nothing complicated or nuanced, just a straight up fact of life that if you truly internalize to the core of your biology, can completely shift the way that you experience dating and relationships. It's really quite simple. The less that you need her, the more that she will want you. Women are attracted to men who don't need anything from them. And to be fair, this isn't just restricted to the world of dating and relationships. This principle applies across almost all human interactions. Human beings are always looking out for their own survival. The point here is knowing as an absolute fact internally that you are a desirable man, that women find you attractive. I'm not talking about some surface level affirmation that you keep repeating inside your head. I am an attractive man, I'm an attractive man. None of that nonsense. I'm talking about actual evidence from your past, real experiences of women finding you desirable. The knowledge that you have options in the dating market makes you far less needy and, as a byproduct, makes you way more attractive. Now, of course, physical intimacy is just one aspect of a relationship. A lot of men want a girlfriend for the emotional intimacy. I'm looking for a girlfriend who listens to me, who supports me, who validates me. Now, I'm not shaming anybody who has this basic need for emotional connection with another human being. That's normal, that's natural. And just pretending that you're emotionally well adjusted when inside you're insecure is not going to work. Women are highly intuitive and she will smell the low self-esteem on you. But here's the deal. If your internal world is a disaster and you are looking for a woman to solve all of your emotional problems, it's not going to work because she's not going to find you attractive. Women do not want to mother their boyfriends. She wants you to be the leader, somebody who she can look up to, take inspiration from, take strength from. You're the man. I've spoken about this before, but there is a world of difference between sharing your emotions as just part of the honest communication in a relationship, or sharing your emotions in a needy way, being codependent and expecting her to solve them for you. One is attractive because it shows inner strength. It shows you have a capacity for honesty and vulnerability. The other is repulsive because it's so needy and it places all of this obligation and responsibility on a woman. But if you genuinely are very emotionally needy and you've got all of these unresolved emotions and traumas from your past and you just need to dump them on somebody and be a bit needy and a bit clingy, don't play it out in your relationship. Go and get those needs met somewhere else. Talk to your friends. Talk to your female friends. Spread it out. It's not reasonable to expect just one person to meet all of your emotional needs. I highly recommend going to speak to a professional therapist. That's what they exist for. They are there completely to meet your needs. You can be as desperate and clingy as you like in a therapist's office and they will help you move through it. That's actually what a high quality man would do. He would be proactive about improving himself mentally and emotionally. Because ultimately, yes, you want to be able to share your internal world with your partner. That's how you feel close to that person. But you don't want to burden that person with your needs. That's not going to make you feel good about yourself because deep down you know that that's not what you've been biologically designed to do. You're the man, you're the leader. You're meant to support other people, not be dependent on them. You're not designed to be a freeloader. And so, when you first interact with a woman who you're interested in, be conscious to not come across as needy. You don't need her to like you. Plenty of women like you. You don't need her to support you. You're doing fine on your own. You don't need her validation because you already have high self-esteem. Her opinion means less to you than your own. That's good, actually. I'm going to repeat that. Her opinion should mean less to you than your own. In all facets, you're doing fine. You don't need her. That's the energy that you should be giving off. That is what women find attractive. The less you need her, the more she will want you.
Number 8, responsibilities. This one is massive. This is huge, bro. This is one of those things where you don't think it's a big deal until you start hitting your 30s like me and you look back and you're like, dang, bro, I missed it. I should have mastered this skill. I should have got on this one. I'd be so much more farther in life. Listen, and I just learned this myself recently. This is why I'm pushing this on you so hard. You're not supposed to be living it up in your 20s. These days, our mindset is, I'm only gonna be young once. YOLO, bro. Gotta live it up. This is my chance. You do this now. You live like this now. you're setting yourself up for some major headache. Look, if I could go back and talk to my 20-year-old self, I would tell him, hey dude, have as much responsibility as possible. Put as much on your plate as possible. It's gonna do nothing but build you up as a man. It's gonna do nothing but just keep you mission focused, eyes on the prize. In fact, I would even tell him, hey, do the things that stress you out. Have a schedule that puts some pressure on, because that stress is what's gonna build you up into being a man. You learn how to handle all this pressure, it's gonna do nothing but build up mental and physical fortitude. You're gonna get such a head start on life if you just understand responsibilities. And on top of that, you're not gonna have no time for all the miscellaneous, pointless stuff. Hey dude, have as much responsibility as possible. Put as much on your plate as possible. It's gonna do nothing but build you up as a man. It's gonna do nothing but just keep you mission focused, eyes on the prize. In fact, I would even tell him, hey, do the things that stress you out. Have a schedule that puts some pressure on, because that stress is what's gonna build you up into being a man. You learn how to handle all this pressure, it's gonna do nothing but build up mental and physical fortitude. You're gonna get such a head start on life if you just understand responsibilities. And on top of that, you're not gonna have no time for all the miscellaneous, pointless stuff. And check this out, growing up, I've told you guys, I was addicted to prawn for years, right? But looking back, I realized I just had way too much time on my hands. And a man who lacks purpose, what's he do? He distracts himself with pleasure every single time. Create responsibilities, my brothers. This will take you so far, and you got to realize that there's also major responsibility in just being a son. If you're living at home, just being a brother, there's major responsibility in that. And if you can't even handle that task at hand, how do you expect yourself to transition on over into being a man and leading a family, leading a wife? It ain't gonna happen. So make sure that you're taking care of business right now. Optimize who you are and the current position that you have right now in your life. Number 9, faith. Gotta have faith. You gotta believe and stand for something. Gotta stand for God, gotta stand for Christ. Can't be ignorant. All ignorant means is just choosing to ignore. Choosing to just keep putting off. Faith is the foundation of who you are as a man. And I know a lot of you right now are about to click off, exit this video, because this stuff is just bubble gum, right? But men who stand in faith, who have that solid foundation, that stand for God, that stand for Christ, they become unbreakable. When you stand for Christ and you stand for His values, His principles, it's gonna lead you in the right direction every single time. It will. You know this too. You know this. It may not be the easiest path, but it'll challenge you. It'll build you up. It'll keep you in check, keep you in line. And not only that, it'll also build up those around you. It'll build up your family, your friendships. So now by the time you're 25, by the time you're 30, now you're a top G. And rather than putting all your confidence and sureness in yourself and what you can do, you put it all on Him now. Think of the most masculine thing in nature. What is it? A mountain, right? Christ is that mountain. And when you lean on Him, when you lean on that mountain, no matter what storms come your way, that mountain is immovable, unshakable. And that's why I choose to put my faith in that. I choose to put all my confidence and sureness and everything of who I am into that, into something that's unbreakable. Opposed to myself, I'm just a man, you know, I break every day, I mess up every day, I always fall short. With that said, appreciate you guys watching.